You're watching Pulse for the 8th or 9th of March, and it's once again time for some StarCraft news. In this week's episode, we take a look at the newly released StarCraft Master Mod or custom map for StarCraft II, the GSL Code S Finals results, what's happening at the Intel Extreme Masters Season 6 Finals at CeBIT, PolarfluKe March of the Marines, and more. Let's get straight to the news. Our first piece of news is one that most of you probably already know, but it is definitely the most interesting piece of this week. The new single-player Blizzard mod StarCraft Master is now live. You can find the game in the featured section of the custom game interface. If you didn't know, StarCraft Master is a single-player mod that will offer you the opportunity to put your skills to the test in 30 different challenges. They'll tax your knowledge of the game, your ability to control your forces, and much more. Blizzard let us know that each fiendish challenge will demand your utmost attention to prevail, and they will help you hone your unit micromanagement skills in situations which definitely mimic real battles. So in my opinion, while this is a pretty hardcore mod, and I think once you get past, say, level 15, or even some of those before, things start getting a little bit crazy. It can get really difficult and pretty intense, but at the same time, it is a ton of fun. I honestly think that any player from Bronze all the way up to Masters or Grandmasters would probably enjoy this. Now, if you are having trouble, there are tips to have a look at. You can obviously search right here on YouTube to see people doing tutorials of this. They'll show you exactly how to do these things if you need the help. I think it's probably better if you can try suss them out for yourself, and if you really can't do it, have a look at Blizzard's tips first. More often than not, the name gives away exactly what you need to do in the challenges, but sometimes they do get a bit tough. So for all the completionists out there are 5 achievements to get with this mod, and there's a cool new portrait. If you haven't taken the time to try this out yet, then I suggest you do. While it does get a bit frustrating at times, I do think that this is definitely one of the best mods out there at the moment, especially if you're looking to improve on your normal StarCraft gameplay as well as have a bit of fun. So you can read all about Blizzard's new custom map StarCraft Master below, and if you have StarCraft II, then just log on to Battle.net and give it a try. Oh, and be sure to let me know which levels you struggled with. I had a big problem myself in doing the Baneling sniping one, and the last one, round 30, was incredibly tough. With that done, we're moving on to the tournament and event news, starting with the GSL updates. So let's talk about the Code S Finals. Let's talk about how awesome Dongregu is. Dongregu managed to take Genius down in the finals with a score of 4-2. We were actually waiting for the series for quite some time, and it was incredibly exciting and very refreshing. Refreshing seeing a Protoss and a Zerg in the finals and not a Terran. There's not much else to say about this. I was obviously very happy to see yet another Zerg win it, and as I mentioned before, the games were amazingly good. You can read more about this epic clash of the titans below, and with that done, let's have a look at what's going on with the up and down matches. So, as a lot of you already no doubt know, and some don't know, the 2012 GSL Season 2 is just around the corner, and it's going to be kicking off on March the 12th with the up and down matches. The groups have been revealed, and you can see them on your screens right now. Some of them do look quite tough, and some of those players are going to have a hard time making it out on top. But hey, they're there to prove themselves, so I think they expected that. So you can, as always, read all about this below, and now let's have a talk about the Intel Extreme Masters Season 6 Finals at CeBIT 2012. As of recording this, the quarterfinals have been completed, and we're just waiting for the semifinals and the finals to be played. So if you were actually interested in going back a step, you can see the groups A through D on your screens right now, and you can see who actually topped them. MMA was at the top of Group A, Group B saw MC at the top, Group C Puma, and Group D, someone that not many people expected to see there, Feast. Feast played a couple of really good games and impressed a lot of people over the past couple of days. So in the quarterfinals, we've got MMA versus Zenio, JYP versus Puma, MC versus Violet, and Killer versus Feast. I personally am quite happy to see that there are Zerg, Protoss, and Terran players in the top 8. That's always a relief, and it means we're going to see some pretty decent games. But there are 4 Protoss there, and only 2 Zerg and 2 Terran. So the Protoss definitely have the upper hand. This time at least. And yes, there's actually only one non-Korean in the top 8, and that would be Feast. The streams for this event are 100% free, so if you have some time on the 9th of March, then you should definitely tune in to catch a few games. If you haven't been keeping up and you want to know what's been going on in the past few days at IEM Hanover, then you can find recaps of day 1, 2, and 3 below, courtesy of Team Liquid. You can also find a couple of interviews with the players and casters, photos from the event, and much more. On a semi-side note before moving on, I'm keen to see how Feast does up in the top 8, being the only foreigner there, but my money is actually going to be on Violet. He's a Zerg player and he's one of my favorites out there at the moment. So be sure to let me know who your favorite is to win. I'd say most people are probably going to be betting on MMA. Anyway, with that done, let's talk about PolarfluKe's next tournament, March of the Marines. So March of the Marines is happening from the 17th till the 18th of March, with the fast track qualifier on the 14th. This has the normal $900 prize pool, and you can read about the split over at polarfluke.co.za or on the Team Liquid post dedicated to this. It's going to work in the same way as it did before, with the fast track qualifier on the Wednesday before the tournament, on the Saturday the Swiss rounds, and on Sunday the single elimination round of 32 brackets. This is, as always, sponsored by Megarom and open to everyone on the European BattleNet server. I will give you guys another reminder next week, but if you're keen to play, you can register right now. The registrations are already open. So you can read all about PolarfluKe March of the Marines below, and with that done, let's move on to the smalls. First up in the tournament and event smalls, read all the information about the IPL4 at the Cosmopolitan. Then the DreamHack guys have announced dates for their Stockholm, Valencia and Bucharest events. Read more about the Pro Mono Battles tournament that Total Biscuit's organizing. That's happening this Saturday from 1600 GMT. Read about the Look No Hands fundraiser. And lastly, the MLG Winter Arena VODs and replays are now available for free. First up in the community smalls, read how the Liquid documentary has sadly been delayed. Razer has sponsored Team MVP, Show has departed from Team Dignitas, Dragon has joined Team Millennium, and tying in with that, Slayer's Jessica is unhappy with Dragon. You can read a lot more about that drama below. I didn't really want to get into it in this episode. Moonglade has joined Team Nvidia, and Fruit Dealer is set to coach a League of Legends team. Then have a look at interviews with Check 6's Sleep and Infi on his move to StarCraft II. Check out the new and incredibly popular Team Liquid Goliathus mousepad. It's on sale now. Trimaster is blogging from Korea, and right here on YouTube you can have a look at who the latest resident is of the Evil Genius's lair. I'm going to spoil this for you guys and say that it is in fact Orb, a shoutcaster that some of you may know, and I will say that there's a lot of drama surrounding this right now. I'm also not sure how long he'll actually still be in the EG house and casting for them. It seems like he's incredibly rude on the ladder when he loses, and he's been swearing at a bunch of people who have been taking screenshots and showing them to the world. The last thing I'll say about this is that the Evil Genius's CEO did say that he's going to be making a formal statement about the situation. So they are taking all of this incredibly seriously. But you can read more about that below. Lastly, also right here on YouTube, have a look at a video titled Husky in a Nutshell. Sadly, that's all I have for you in the StarCraft news this week. Check back here soon for more. Remember to like the video and do all that other good stuff. And most importantly, happy StarCrafting.